If you really care about your car and you don't want to add any damage to it, then you're going to have to undertake a wash method where you reduce the risk of adding damage, and that damage comes in the form of scratches and swirls. So you would need to perform what is commonly known as a safe wash. But what is a safe wash? So a safe wash is, it's a method. It's not exactly a set of rules per se, but it's a set of guidelines that you can follow to the T, or you can change it up the way you want to do it. But basically a safe wash is a methodology of cleaning your car whilst keeping it as safe as possible so you don't add damage to your car. Now, how do you go about this? Well, first of all, you have to consider what are you going to touch the car with, because that makes a big difference. Now, I've already pre-washed the car. If you don't know what a pre-wash is, there should be a link up here somewhere or down in the description for my video, what is a pre-wash. And basically what I've done is I've already removed the worst of the surface dirt from the car, but there's still stuff on here. So we've gone over it with a snow foam and pre-wash products, and we've used the pressure washer to remove most of the dirt, but there's still some dirt here. So this is where we actually need to touch the car and move it out the way with some physical contact. But this is the most dangerous part, because if there are any heavier dirt particles, any bigger bits, they could get caught and moved around, and that's what adds the scratches and swirls to your car. So we need to think about what we're going to touch it with. So I'm going to grab some bits here. So sponges are a no-no. You may have heard of this already, but sponges are a bad idea. Yes, they were fine back in the day. A bucket and sponge was the normal thing. But nowadays, we're moving on to wash mitts, and there's a reason for that. You see, a sponge has a very flat surface and not really anywhere for the dirt to go. So if you do pick up a bit of dirt, a bit of grit on your sponge, it's going to be trapped between the surface of the sponge and your paint surface. And you're just going to be dragging it around and adding scratches and swirls to your car's paint. So wash mitts are the better idea. Now, there are a selection here. You've got things like your, okay, that's going to go in the wash. You've got your microfibre kind. You've got this microfibre noodle kind, although they're not very good because the noodles always fall out. You've got this one, which is a short pile sort of synthetic wool, and you've got your long synthetics or your natural wool types as well. So there's many different kinds out there. Use what you find to be the best for you. I'm not going to tell you which one's the best one, because everyone has their own preferences. My preference is this one. They're cheap, they hold together well, and they have somewhere for the dirt to go because they have a bit of a deeper pile, but they're also not too long and straggly like some of these, because I want to release the dirt from them, and I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. To make this process a little bit safer, we're going to grab some buckets. I say buckets because you may have heard of the 2-bucket method. Let me grab those. Here are the 2 buckets. Like I said, the 2-bucket method, very easily labeled here. I've got a wash bucket and a rinse bucket. Now, the idea with this is that I'm going to fill up my warm soapy water in this bucket, and this one's just going to have clean water. The idea will be that I'll take my wash mitt, I'll dip it in here, and I'll wash one panel at a time. Once I've done that panel, I'll come back to the rinse bucket, and I'm going to rinse out the mitt, any dirt that's been picked up by the fibres of this. I'm going to rinse it out in this. I'm also going to run my fingers through it. That's why I like the shorter one, because I can get my fingers into it a little bit easier. I get my fingers in there and release as much of the dirt into this bucket, so that when I come back to this bucket, I'm picking up clean soapy water instead of putting dirt into it. Now, this is just one technique for the 2-bucket method. There are multiples. Another one which seems to be quite popular is the one where you would have maybe 8 or 10 of these wash mitts in the wash bucket, and you just pick one up, use it on one panel and throw it into the other bucket. Don't touch it again. You pick up another brand new one. That's entirely up to you. You do it how you like to do it. This is my preference, just because I do have a few of these, but I don't have enough at the moment to have one per panel. So that's going to be the idea. Now, how else can we make this safer again? Well, you may have heard of grit guards. I've got one in each bucket here. These are little guards that allow the dirt to fall through them to the bottom of the bucket. You've also got these fins which stop the water from moving around at the bottom and stop any of the dirt that's fallen down from being churned back up again. So it tries to help keep these down. There's different names for them: scratch shields, grit guards, dirt locks. There's so many different kinds out there. Get what's good for you, but I like these. They're cheap and they work. Now you can have one, like I say, I've got one in each bucket to just help any dirt that has come into this bucket to stay down there. But you could have one just in there. You could have one on top of the other in your rinse bucket to help protect it. You could have two in each bucket. You do it the way you want to do it, but I like it one per bucket, and just be mindful of what you're doing. So now it's time to actually wash the car. So I'm going to fill this up with some shampoo. And when it comes to the shampoo, it's entirely up to you again. What I would keep in mind is that there are different shampoos, all different kinds. You get the kinds which have gloss enhancements, you have the kinds with wax in them, or you can have pure shampoos. Autoglym very kindly sent me their 3 different shampoos. Now, because I'm going to be adding a protection later, I don't have any protection on this car at the moment, I'm going to go with a pure shampoo, and that just means that I'm not adding anything else onto the paint, because later I'm going to do a decontamination of the paint. So I want to make sure I'm not adding anything onto it that needs to be removed later. So I'm just going to go with their pure shampoo just now. But if you have a car which already has some protection, it's up to you if you want to use one which has gloss enhancements, rain repellent features into it, or waxes in it. That's your choice. I'm going to go with the pure shampoo right now, so I'm going to go and fill these up. Well, thanks to my well running dry, I've had to relocate. So let's carry on where we left off. So I've got my soapy bucket here full of hot soapy water. That is clean water. I've also brought 2 wash mitts with me, and I'm going to be keeping one for the top half of the car and one for the bottom half of the car. It's just to stop cross-contamination, just in case I have to pick up any grittier bits from the bottom. I don't want those up on the top. So I'm going to keep one off to the side there. I'm going to do the top half first and then go on to the bottom half. So make sure you pick up lots of soapy suds and then start your wash. Start at the top. Sounds like I'm telling you something that everyone knows, but starting at the top means that the soapy water will run down to the bottom of the car. Now I'm going to stop at this body line here because this is the lower half of the car, which is going to be the dirtiest part of the car. I'm going to keep it for that mitt there. So I'm going to go over here, rinse off in the clean water, run my fingers through the fibers and get as much of the dirt that's been picked up by this mitt out, wring that out and go back over and reload the mitt. Okay, and then we'll switch over to the second mitt. This is going to be for the bottom half of the car. Alright, so that's the side of the car washed. I'm only going to do the side just for the demonstration purposes, but I'll do the rest of the car after this. So you may have noticed I was trying to wash in straight lines wherever possible. Some will ask, is it important if you do straight lines or around in swirls and circles? I would say yes. If you care about the scratches and swirls on your car, then any scratches induced by straight lines will be easier to remove when you come to polish your car. If you're using an abrasive polish to actually remove those scratches, then you're going to find it much easier. It's going to be more efficient to remove them. Another YouTuber detailer mentioned this in one of his videos, and he said if a scratch is straight, it's only one plane that you have to worry about. If you are washing in a circle and you're doing it in swirls as you're moving, it's like loops, and those loops are going to intersect. So you've got your line here and it's going to come back across it and back across it, and at those points where it intersects, your scratch could be made deeper at that point, meaning there's an even deeper scratch, and it's going to make even more effort required to remove those scratches. So wherever possible, try and wash in straight lines. If you're using a polish which has fillers and things like that, that will work to a certain extent. It will cover some of your very, very light scratches, but anything deeper will require a mechanical abrasive, a proper abrasive product to get rid of those scratches. So keep that in mind as well. If you want to look after your paint, and perhaps you are going to polish it down the line, think about doing your wash in straight lines as much as you can. So now I'm going to rinse the car off. Now I want to show you the difference. I've just been trying to scoop off some of the bubbles left on top of the water here on the rinse bucket, because I want to show you what the water looks like in the rinse bucket versus the water in the wash bucket, hopefully to demonstrate the virtues of a 2-bucket method, and also for using the grit guards. So I'll see if I can bring you in close to see this. So let's have a look. This is the wash bucket, and if we come in close here and have a look down deep, let's get some focus on that. You can see that water is relatively clear, only a couple of small bits of dirt there floating around in the water. You can see that there, but the water looks relatively clear. Now this is the rinse bucket, and as you can see, it is a completely different color. It is horrid. Let's tip some of this out. Try not to soak my feet. You can see that is horrible, grimy dirt, and you can see bigger grit at the bottom of the water there, at the bottom of the bucket. Right there. Let's get close on that, if I can. There we go. So that is grit and dirt that could have been rubbed around my paint had I not used 2 grit guards and the 2-bucket method. So there you have it. That is the essence of a safe wash. Making sure that you look after your paint by being careful how you wash it. We've gone with the 2 grit guard option, the 2-bucket method, 2 wash mitts. So you can use all of the tips that I've shown you here. You could use none of them. You can use some of them. Figure out what your own method would be. This is what has worked for me for a long time. And the 2-bucket method is a well-regarded method for a safe wash. The next step after washing the car will be if you want to decontaminate your car, especially if you're going to be adding a protection product. That's because you want to make sure that your paint is absolutely perfectly clean and ready to accept that protection product, because the cleaner your car is, the cleaner the paint surface is, the better your protection product will bond and stick to it. You don't want it sticking to dirt. Now, I already have seen that there are some contaminants on the car. I can definitely see some tar spots, and there's something else on here that I'm not entirely sure what it is, so it may well need a tar remover. It's going to need some iron fallout remover, and most likely a clay bar. That's going to be coming up in the what is decontamination video, so make sure you look out for that one. In the meantime, I'm going to get the rest of this car done. Thank you very much to Autoglim for sending me their shampoo range, and I think I'll probably make a video about the differences between their 3 shampoos, because up until I received them I didn't know they made more than one. So look out for that as well. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Also subscribe so you can see my next videos. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you're alerted to their uploads. You can also find me on Instagram, and I would love to hear from you. Any comments, questions or suggestions down below. In the meantime, I'm going to get on with this. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you to these lovely people for allowing me to use their property and their water. I hope it's working for the next time. In the meantime, I've been Specky. I'll see you in the next video. Oh, that sun is so bright. Oh, it's nice.